This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Thursday, the 18th day of January in the year 2024. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. Almost 3 years since he went on the run after his murdered girlfriend's body was found buried in his backyard, Lindener Shaquan Allen, also known as Iswi, has been arrested in neighboring Suriname. Acting Police Commissioner Clifton Hicken confirmed the arrest to News Source this afternoon and indicated that systems are being put in place to have the wanted man returned to Guyana to face the murder charges. The Guyanese authorities were contacted today and informed of the arrest by the Surinamese police. A wanted bulletin was issued for Allen back in April of 2021 after the body of 21-year-old Shonadova was found buried in his backyard. A post-mortem examination revealed that a woman had been shot at close range. Allen and Dova lived together, and he had filed a missing persons report for her, claiming that the last time he saw her alive was when she left their home for work. The man joined the woman's family and the community of Linden in a frantic search around the town. As the search continued for several days, investigators started to probe the boyfriend, Shaquan Allen, as a possible suspect in the woman's disappearance. When investigators collected the woman's teenage sister for questioning since she was reportedly staying at the house with the couple, Allen went missing. Under questioning, the teenage girl reportedly revealed to investigators that her sister had been shot dead by the boyfriend and her body buried in the backyard. An early morning probe of the backyard revealed the dead woman's remains in a partly decomposed state. The sister of the murder victim was charged with accessory after the fact of murder. The charge was filed against her on the advice of the Director of Public Prosecutions. The boyfriend, Shaquan Allen, could not be found, and searches were launched across the country for him. Investigators eventually realized that he must have left the country. Since then, there were reports of him being spotted in neighboring Suriname and in French Guyana. Information was dispatched to the police in both Suriname and French Guyana by the Guyana Police Force. A few weeks ago, local investigators received reports of another sighting of the wanted man in neighboring Suriname, and the authorities there were again alerted, resulting in the arrest. More news coming up in just a moment.
My lord, I just love to shop in this store. My customers, them gonna love all these things. So many different things in one place. Household items, electronics, toys, stationery, confectionery, exercise equipment, shoes and clothes for men, women and children, school things, costume, jewelry, perfume, makeup. Oh, look the makeup!
Giftland Office Max, Guyana's favorite department store.
On Thursday, February 22nd, we're heading to the biggest wet fete of MASH, Splash-O-Mani 2024 at the Guyana National Stadium. Nuff Water, Pulse, Nuff Soca. The night before the holiday, Soca star Problem Child. Ola Tunji. Splash-O-Mani, the official wet fete of MASH 2024. Problem Child, Ola Tunji, and more to be added. Come, let's soak you down in water and soca. Early bird tickets $3,000. Brought to you by Hits and Jams Entertainment.
It's your time to win big. The Massey Store's Christmas Jackpot promotion is back and bigger than before. Spend $5,000 at any Massey Stores to be the lucky winner of a brand new MGZS and fantastic weekly store prizes from now until January 31st, 2024. What are you waiting for? Head to your nearest Massey Stores to shop now. See our Facebook and Instagram pages for more details. Massey Stores, our family serving your family.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors that me crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster. Grab a buster. Bust the flavor, taste the savor. Bust the flavors. Bust the flavors.
Vice President Barrett Jagdeo today said he believes the country's premier tertiary learning institution, the University of Guyana, must up its game, declaring that the experiences that are being relayed about the University of Guyana do not reflect what the government wants from an institution that it is preparing to fully support. Responding to questions from reporters today about the almost similar budgetary allocations for the University of Guyana and the Guyana Online Academy of Learning, Mr. Jagdeo said the GOLD program is there to supplement what is being offered at the University of Guyana, even as he cast doubt on the quality of the university's output.
The University of Guyana also, we believe, must consolidate, but this is a personal view. I believe they must consolidate around a number of programs that are high quality, not seek to every time somebody goes there to start a new program, then they don't have a lecturer or something else, then they have 10 staff, 10 students for that program. It can't sustain itself. They need to have the good quality degrees around, first degrees particularly, around a core number of areas. And quality is important.
Vice President Jagdeo said concerns have been expressed over the University of Guyana's output quality since the pandemic, stating that all of the university's programs appear to be confined to online learning. He said that is not the experience the government would want with a campus it has to sustain.
So a lot has to be reviewed there too. And the government, now that it will be using taxpayers' resources to fund the entire university, needs to ensure that we have solid leadership and also that we have value for money and the output, the quality of the degree is of a standard that is recognized everywhere in the world.
Mr. Jagdeo also said the pace in which the country needs to qualify its citizens need both the University of Guyana and the GOLD program.
The GOLD program doesn't offer the educational services. This is done by institutions abroad and the prices are negotiated. And I must say, if you look at the expenditure per person, it is way below that of the University of Guyana, based on the prices that are negotiated.
He said institutions that are providing services to GOLD have to go through a quality assurance test before being chosen, and therefore doubts should not be cast on the certificates received through GOLD. In further justifying the GOLD program, Mr. Jagdeo said even its administrative spending is significantly lower than the University of Guyana. With road fatalities increasing by more than 50% in 2023, the government is looking to further increase the penalties for road traffic violations as vehicular accidents continue to spiral out of control. A total of 217 persons lost their lives in motor vehicular accidents and incidents on the country's roadways last year. At a press conference yesterday, while expressing concern about the steep increase in road deaths, the Minister of Home Affairs, Robeson Ben, noted that the majority of road deaths were young men.
There's a particular cohort of young people, men, not women, who are dying on our roads in avoidable situations, the use of a helmet, speeding, how you use the motorbike or even the car. Those persons at their ages are the ones who can give most to our country in terms of their future endeavors, ambitions, and efforts.
Based on the stats provided by the Ministry of Home Affairs, male fatalities increased by 79.2% last year compared to the previous year. In contrast, female fatalities saw an increase of 64.7% during the same period. Further, the majority of the victims, 43.4%, were between the ages of 25 and 42. The Home Affairs Minister says speeding remains the leading cause of road deaths in Guyana. Last year, speeding resulted in 128 fatalities, representing an increase of more than 110%. Given the troubling situation on the country's roadways, the Home Affairs Minister said the government will be returning to the National Assembly to further amend the Motor Vehicle and Road Traffic Act to increase the penalties for road violations.
But we are looking hard at questions of increasing the fines for road traffic violations, speeding, and other things. The questions of if you are allowed to go and operate another vehicle, if you are already in an accident with one as a public transport operator, and the questions of the conductors and how they move from one to the other, and all of those issues. And retraining or rechecking to see if persons sometimes are particularly up to speed in terms of how they operate a vehicle.
The Motor Vehicle and Road Traffic Act was amended in November 2022. The amendments introduced the offense of motor manslaughter, where a person causes the death of another by driving a motor vehicle while under the influence of alcohol or a drug. The legislation also imposed harsher penalties for the offense of driving under the influence. Notwithstanding these penalties, there continues to be an increase in road fatalities. Minister Ben said to further confront the reckless use of the country's roads, the Guyana Police Force will soon introduce e-ticketing. He said 2023 also saw an increase in the number of traffic tickets being issued due to countless violations.
There was a large increase in the number of tickets issued recently and persons charged. We don't necessarily want to charge more and more people. We want people to modify their behavior and to do things which will protect them and protect each other. We don't want policemen assaulted, beaten on the roads, run over and killed by errant drivers. We don't want persons run over or getting into accidents without being the cause of it themselves.
The Guyana Police Force also intends to enhance driver education and training programs throughout the country to promote road safety.
Twice the fun, twice the thrill. On your next trip with Copa Airlines, stop over in Panama and enjoy 2 vacations in one at no additional airfare. Because to live life at its fullest, first you have to stop. So next time you fly Copa Airlines, stop over in Panama at no additional airfare.
Stop the finest in the country, both ceramic and porcelain, tiles and chandeliers you'll see while you shop around stress-free. Well, train stop at warming halls, make your shopping smooth and calm, providing you with quality to match your style that's so unique. Mima Decor.
Look at the breathtaking beauty of the Essequibo, from its pristine rivers to its abundant resources. It's a treasure that belongs to Guyana, and we ask Venezuela to respect the rule of international law.
Our commitment to this land is not just about ownership. It's about preserving its beauty and resources for our people and future generations.
The controversy between Guyana and Venezuela was settled internationally as full, perfect, and final in 1899. Essequibo belongs to Guyana.
The leader of the Alliance for Change, Comrade Ramchatan, believes the government, through its national budget, has failed to strike a balance between investments in infrastructural development and socio-economic development of the working poor. The budget, the opposition member of parliament said, is heavy on infrastructural work and would largely benefit what he described as a crony capitalist contractor class. He said the budget has fallen short in addressing in a meaningful way the challenges facing the poor and the working class, such as the steep rise in the cost of living over the past few years.
You're not going to get shared prosperity as a result. As a matter of fact, I believe when you concentrate the wealth to a crony capitalist contractor class with all these projects, you're going to have a concentration of poverty. And that is going to be tantamount to lots more people leaving the country. We go to the passport office, we go to the American embassy every morning, and Lord have mercy, literally. Everybody wants to go away from a country that is literally the 10th richest in the world.
The government intends to spend $204.1 billion on the construction and upgrades of roads and bridges across the country, in addition to another $95.7 billion on the energy sector, which includes $80 billion to advance the gas-to-energy project. Investments in infrastructure will also be seen throughout the other sectors of the country. Mr. Ramchatan said, on the contrary, only $7 billion was budgeted for cost of living measures, which are still to be determined. Meanwhile, the old age pension and the public assistance grant were increased by $3,000, while the school age cash grant will see a $5,000 increase. Ramchatan believes that the measures are inadequate, and he has lashed out at the government for failing to make the University of Guyana free and for not investing more heavily in education.
So the more kind of illiterate or uneducated we are, the better for them, because they then will go to them, give some handouts, and buy the votes. It is essentially that. The more educated your population is, the more you're going to have people making demands and arguing the case that you are not delivering for us. But when you have that kind of monies being spent half only on education as promised, well, where are we?
This year, the government intends to spend $135.2 billion on the education sector. However, of that amount, $4.1 billion will go to the University of Guyana. The AFC leader said while UG is only receiving $4.1 billion, the Guyana Sugar Corporation, Guyana, will be receiving another $6 billion, although it continues to operate way below expectations.
Sugar and Guyana are supposed to bring in revenue. We are now taking revenues out of the treasury to ensure that things operate. And it is not going to get better. Even recently, they came out and indicated that they're not getting the workers, the labor is short. Who will want to go and work at Guyana? Come on. But they put in another $6 billion, $7 billion, and they leave $4 for the University of Guyana. And so I think their priorities are misplaced, and they're rebalancing for socioeconomic purposes for the working poor, as against infrastructure, is totally in a mess.
Opposition leader Aubrey Norton, in an earlier statement, said the budget is aimed at making the rich richer while offering a freck to the other citizens. But while the opposition has called for greater measures for the working poor, the private sector has applauded the government for putting together a budget that would foster economic growth and development. The move by the government to appeal the High Court ruling that found the deduction of payments for striking Linden nurses to be unlawful is being defended by Vice President Barrett Jagdeo. The High Court ordered that all the money deducted from the salaries of the nurses during their strike be repaid to them. The government has refused to follow the court order and has since indicated that it is moving to appeal the case. At a press conference today, Mr. Jagdeo said the issue is bigger than just a strike. He said the nurses who were on strike were disciplined using the measures which are provided for in law, explaining that the measures include termination, suspension, or deductions from their salaries. The vice president said that given one of the methods was utilized and the court found that the action was illegal, it is the view of the government to protect the industrial principles that have always been used in disputes.
And the court ruled in the favor of the nurses. But they believe that there's a big industrial principle at stake here. An industrial principle that if this were to succeed, then they will not be able to utilize that tool which is available often in the collective bargaining agreements or in the laws of the country to discipline staff.
In March 2021, the then management of the Linden Hospital refused to pay the full salaries for several nurses who were protesting over their working conditions while calling for the removal of the then CEO. The nurses, through the Guyana Public Service Union, filed court action, and the High Court recently ruled in their favor, declaring that the deduction of the money from their salaries and the hospital's management punishing them for absenteeism were both unlawful.
And so it is a bigger issue at stake here, not just the nurses from Linden, but an industrial principle that is at stake here. Therefore, the appeal.
The Guyana Public Service Union, which filed the court case on behalf of the nurses, recently said it found out that an appeal was being filed in the case after it wrote to the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Health, requesting that the ministry follows the court order and pay the nurses the money that was deducted. In his response, the Permanent Secretary informed the union of the move to appeal. The GPSU said the injustice that was committed on the workers should not be prolonged, adding that the workers continue to suffer from the unlawful act. Let's tell you now that the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit destroyed nearly 4,000 pounds of marijuana and cocaine last year, according to the agency's head, James Singh. In a bulletin released by the agency for last year, Mr. Singh explained that the agency conducted 2 separate eradication exercises, where they destroyed more than 3,700 pounds of narcotics, consisting of about 3,400 pounds of marijuana and another 310 pounds of cocaine. Additionally, Singh said the agency seized more than 1,363 kilograms of narcotics, consisting of cannabis, cocaine, ecstasy, and others, with marijuana being the most seized illegal drug, amounting for 94% of the total drugs seized for the year, with 73 seizures. And giving a regional breakdown for narcotic seizures, it was noted that Region 6 recorded the highest number of narcotic seizures during the past year, accounting for more than 705 kilograms of narcotics seized, followed by Region 4 with 152.5 kilograms. Further, Kanu was quick to point out that older persons constitute the majority of those who were nabbed by the agency in 2023. During the past year, the unit made a total of 80 arrests, consisting of 70 men and 10 women. The age group of individuals over 50 years constituted 48% of the overall arrests, while the age group of 18 to 30 years old accounted for 41% of the total. Kanu was able to secure 47 convictions, consisting of 41 for men and 6 women. The agency has noted that despite facing numerous obstacles and evolving challenges, its efforts are ongoing to ensure safer communities.
Are you looking to start or advance your career with one or more of our world-class associate, bachelor, or master's degrees in 14 specializations from the comfort of your home worldwide? Then look no further than the University of Excellence Management in Business, UEMB. We are affordable, accessible, flexible, multi-world class, internationally accredited and locally recognized by NAC Guyana as a tertiary degree granting college. For more details on our no strings attached 60% scholarship and our payment plan, please call 225-1395, 225-1397-9, 681-3434 or 618-3434. Visit our administrative office in the Critchlow Labour College front building, Wolford Avenue, Georgetown, Guyana. Progressing to a degree is as easy as ABC with UEMB. Deal with the best and forget the rest.
Imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce and pet supplies, freshly made bread. Rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily. Shop in comfort today at Food Max and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. Food Max, the fresh food specialist.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Look who's in the mix now. The new Buster Soda Water. 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 artificial flavors. 100% refreshing. Taste Buster Soda Water today. Buster Soda Water. Now available for only $120.
With your regional and international news tonight, I'm Svetlana Marshall. In the region, Brazil's President Luiz Lula da Silva will meet with China's visiting Foreign Minister Wang Yi on Friday afternoon in the northeastern Brazilian city of Fortaleza, a presidential spokesperson said on Thursday. Wang, on a tour of African nations, Brazil and Jamaica, is in Brasilia for 2 days of meetings at the Foreign Ministry, and a joint statement is expected on Friday at midday. China is Brazil's largest export market, mainly for soy and iron ore. Chinese companies are planning to increase their investments in Brazil in power transmission, oil and electric vehicles, businessmen said at a Brazil-China meeting last week with major Chinese corporations. Religious organizations in Trinidad and Tobago have reintroduced health measures in response to the announcement by Minister of Health Terence Dale-Singh that there is an uptick in COVID-19 infections in the country. On Tuesday, the Catholic Church said that out of an abundance of caution, its Health and Safety Secretariat is recommending that its members exercise a high level of preventative care to minimize contracting any viral respiratory illness. Global reports detailed a rise in COVID-19, influenza, and other viruses. The church said that each parish priest, in conjunction with the parish council or leadership team, may select from any or all of the COVID-19 preventative measures. Recommendations to be considered include practicing good respiratory, hand and personal hygiene, mask wearing indoors, keeping windows and doors open, and halting the sharing of blood of Christ. Other religious leaders are also following suit. And finally tonight, international news. Pakistan has launched missile strikes into Iran, killing 9 people after Iran carried out strikes in Pakistan late on Tuesday. Pakistan said its strikes had hit terrorist hideouts in an Iran southeastern province. Iran condemned the attack, which it said killed 3 women, 2 men, and 4 children who were not Iranian. The country's foreign ministry later said it was committed to good neighborly relations with Pakistan. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.